morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio, so today it's time to take a look, ladies and gentlemen, at a bunch of ridiculous artwork rares. They are confirmed back in Snow Hazard and Clayburst, which really shouldn't surprise anybody, because they are that gosh darned amazing, and they were in the first set and the first mini set, so of course they were going to be back, but they are back, and I am loving it. So let's start off, I don't know, why not, with Dunsparce. And of course, the artwork here, Serata. We got loads of other Pokemon, and I'm not even going to call out the other Pokemon. I love that we've got a bunch of Dunsparce, a Dudunsparce, lording over stuff. Okay, I am going to point out that there's a Dedenne on his head, and another Dedenne basically, waving at him, being like, whoa, look how cool you are on Dudunsparce's head. And then we've got a bunch of other ones, and it is just awesome. And I love this, and I am a huge fan. So yeah, check out the artwork. What does Dudunsparce actually do? Well, we got 140 HP stage 1. We got single energy 30, which is not particularly good. And then we've got 4 energy, 100 damage, automatic paralysis, yay! But then you shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached to it back into your deck. Like a super duper crazy expensive hit and run with automatic paralysis. And look, ladies and gentlemen, I like automatic paralysis. Automatic paralysis makes me happy in the Pokemon TCG. What I'm not such a huge fan of here, and I don't think this is unfair, is putting 4 energy on a stage 1 that's only got 140 HP, and then having to shuffle all that energy back into my deck just to get paralysis. I love the artwork. I think the card is cool. I think it's way too expensive. As for Dunsparce here, single energy, search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. It's not terrible as an emergency attack, but I think it's fair to say it's not exactly stunning. Sorry about that. Now, we might as well stick in Snow Hazard and have a look at Rabsca. Now, this is another one of those, it evolved in an awkward way. And there was probably a point in the game where you realised where it evolved or looked it up and you were like, ha, that's kind of cool. And it may for many of you have been among the last ones that you evolved, and then you went, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And it is kind of cool. Now, the artwork here is kind of awesome by Nagamiso here, but you will notice it's only got 70 HP, and 70 HP is, well, let's not, beat around the bush here, absolutely appalling. However, look, the 2 energy, 50 damage plus confusion, nobody cares, but the first attack, the first attack here is very interesting indeed. And I did do these translations myself, although I did chat with the lovely Joe over at Cerebi.net and the lovely 2new1223 over on the Discord. And I feel confident about this because actually it's not that difficult a translation. The translation here is actually pretty straightforward. It literally just says, put a Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. Literally, your trash from Pokemon, choose one, put it on the bench. That's what it reads literally. And yeah. And if you've been playing the Pokemon card game a while, you know how to interpret that. Because there's things it's not saying. It's not saying basic Pokemon. So that means that you can put any Pokemon you like onto your bench. Basically, there's nothing else limiting it. You take a Pokemon from your discard pile and you put it onto your bench. That's it. And don't read too much into it. It doesn't matter if it's got a rule box. It doesn't matter if it's a basic. It doesn't matter. Any Pokemon you like. And that's why we can deal with the super crazy low HP here. Yes, the 70 HP is absolutely appalling, and I don't think that's unfair to say. However, we don't mind that quite so much in the context of, you know what, I can get any Pokemon, I can get a stage 2 randomly out. I get my stage 1 with 1 colourless energy, bearing in mind that means I can take it into any deck whatsoever. Any deck I ever want to play, this will fit in very nicely. And then I get any stage 2 or V-Star or anything like that. I don't have to play the pre-evolutions, I just have to get it in my discard and then I can play it for free. I know I said the Dunsparce wasn't interesting. This is a very interesting card. It's still an evolution. And it's got 70 HP, so you better believe you're giving up a prize to use this attack. Like 99% of the time, your opponent will get a KO on this as soon as you use the attack. But if you can get a good enough stage 2 into play doing so, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Now, in terms of Rellor here, we do have two. Remember the rule we've established in Scarlet and Violet. Basically, new Gen 9 Pokemon get 2 pre-evolutions. So we got the 40 HP one that's single energy 10. I don't need to say much more about that. And then we've got the 50 HP one, 2 energy, flip a coin till you get tails, 30 for each heads. This is by a mile the better of the two. I like having emergency attacks. There are going to be games where, hey, if I can flip 8 heads in a row with Rellor, I win the game. And I'm not saying that's a great thing, and I'm not saying you're going to flip the 8 heads in a row, but I am saying if my choice is I lose, or I flip 8 coins and if all of them are heads I win, I like being able to at least have that choice. I like the idea of if I can flip 8 heads I will win the game, and that's why I kind of like this Rellor a little bit, honestly. Yay! Now, the one that most people are probably going to be most excited about, let's be honest, is Raichu. Yeah, that's right, there's a Raichu artwork rare. Now, couple things to point out here. Firstly, people are going to go crazy for the Raichu artwork rare. Secondly, when we get evolution lines having artwork rares, we usually see them all together. Now, I'm not saying that that means we won't have a Pikachu. I'm just saying that most of the time, if we were going to have a Pikachu, it would have been revealed with the Raichu. Take that as you like. Not saying we're not getting a Pikachu, but I am saying they usually reveal the evolution lines together. I do have to mention before we really get rolling on what Raichu does, look at the regular Pikachu! It's Okacheke! I love this. I don't even really want an artwork rare Pikachu, honestly, because it doesn't matter what it is. There's an Okacheke Pikachu, and I adore it, and I want this card. I want a binder full of this card. Now, as for what Raichu actually does here, for a single colourless energy, search your deck for up to 2 lightning energy, attach them to this Pokemon, and shuffle your deck. It's fine. It's alright. It'll do. It's okay. However, for free energy, you do 200 damage, discarding all energy attached to this Pokemon. So look, the deal is this. You get 1 big attack, and then you're probably getting KO'd. The problem with the first attack is, if I attach the energy to Raichu with my attack, and I've talked about this a lot with these kind of attacks in the past, there is an excellent chance that what then happens is I get KO'd with free energy attached to me, and I never actually get my attack off. If you think that there is an opening, if you think your opponent is not going to be able to get the KO next turn, then use your energy, get the extra 2, then hit for 200, job's a good 'un. But free energy on stage 1 is quite a lot, and the best way to do this is to use your first attack, but then if you use your first attack, you're probably just getting KO'd straight away without being able to use a second attack. This is a problem. As for the Pikachu, 2 energy 30 is fine, and then single energy, during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks. It's fine in an emergency, I suppose, but I don't think any more than that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. And that means we have just 1 artwork rare left, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I saved a really nice one for last, because what we've got here is Maushold. Yay! Our lovely stage 1 Maushold, and actually, check the artwork. And look, we kind of know how Maushold works, right? So I want as many of these things on the art as I possibly can get. And Zue here has done a wonderful job on the artwork and seems to agree with me because they seem to have just gone, right, how many of these can I fit onto the artwork? And I very much appreciate that that's what they've done here. Yay! Now, as for what Maushold actually does, 2 energy 15, nobody cares. Remember the super low HP. This evolution line has super low HP. Please be prepared for that. Free energy, and what you do is for each of your Maushold in play, you put a damage counter on each of your opponent's Pokemon. So if I've got 4 Maushold in play, I put 4 damage counters on each of my opponent's Pokemon. That's a little bit ridiculous. I legit love this. You only got 60 HP, but spreading 40 is huge. The free energy is a bit of a problem, because like what I really want to do here is use double turbo. Because I'm dropping damage counters, not doing damage, it really doesn't matter that I'm reducing the damage done by 20, because actually I'm not doing damage, I'm dropping damage counters, job's a good un. But I kind of like this, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. I do kind of like this. And it's got to be borne in mind, this isn't the first time we've actually seen this. This isn't the first time we've had, like, a super interesting Maushold, which is kind of awesome. Because remember, we've got the one from Scarlet and Violet that for 2 energy does 70 damage for each of your Maushold in play. And you might be starting to see a pattern here. Now, if I've got 4 Maushold in play, I can do 280 to the active, which is great. Or I can drop 4 damage counters on everything, which is great. I'm kind of starting to love Maushold. We do have 2 new Tandem Mouse for what it's worth. We've got one with 40 HP and 2 vanilla attacks, which we don't need to talk about. And then we got one with 30 HP, stunning Kato artwork, but it's got an attack for 1 colorless energy that lets you draw 2 cards. And that's actually not terrible. Like, as far as Maushold goes, this is probably my favorite. Oh, sorry, favorite Tandem Mouse. And then you got the 2 good Maushold, and these actually have a bunch of potential. So there we go. 4 new stunning artwork rares. I'm a little bit impressed by this, and if I may suggest so, maybe you should be too. But now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these you like, tell me which of these you're excited about, tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and hey, even get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Andy White, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So thank you very much for all the support and for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.